Welcome, beekeepers. It's a new year and new gear. Went to NAHBE, as you probably noticed, and I picked up some new gear. You notice I got a brand new Day smoker going over here. Behind it, some new frames and some Hive Alive Fondant that we're going to be putting on the hives today. So let's get off to it. I also have a nice new Guardian jacket, 3-layer jacket. I wanted to buy one and they had them on sale and I couldn't resist. So let's go out in the beehives. As you can see, it's a beautiful day in January. What is it? January the 14th, I think. It's set 56 degrees after just having 5 or 6 inches of snow and temperature in the teens. And here we are, nice warm day. The bees are flying. We're going to get out here and check our supplies and put some fondant on and get ready to start gearing them up for spring. Alrighty, here we are looking at the east side, and you can see bees flying out of both hives, which is exactly what we want this time of year. Well, it's nice to see them flying, let's put it that way. The problem with them flying is that means that they are out burning energy, and since there's nothing for them to get out in the field, they're going to be eating through the resources in their hives. That's the purpose of the Hive Alive Fondant that we're going to be putting on. Now, I put some other fondant on almost a week ago. So I'll let that come off. It's the nice white brick. It's made by Matt at Sandy Valley Bee Company. And it's wintertime, you can tell there's a few dead bees laying around, but there's activity. And there's one of them checking me out already. But they're climbing through the holes in the feeder, checking out the fondant. Set the the smoker over there a little bit, and I'm going to take the top because I want to put the Hive Alive Fondant right on the top of the frames. That way they don't have to try to crawl through the frame to get to the fondant. Now you can see we've got quite a few bees. Now I've got some new bee traps that I'm going to be putting on as soon as the weather gets a little bit warmer. But right now we got quite a few bees. Now, Hive Alive Fondant pack. And what I've seen recommended is you cut a hole in the middle, just a little square, peel it back, and lay it straight down on the frames. Yeah, there's lots of bees in there. And they will figure that out really quick. And since it's got the Hive Alive booster stuff in it, next time we look, they should be thriving. This will get them started going good. They'll eat through that entire package, depending upon how much honey there is in the box. They'll eat through that whole entire package in as little as a week. I'm hoping for about a month. All right, so we're going to go back here and we're going to break this loose and we're going to lift the boxes on the back and see how heavy it is. Get that to stay up there. And it kind of fell off the stand a little bit. There we go. Now then, let's try that again. All right, considering each box full of honey would weigh well over 100 pounds, it's pretty light. Now, I'm not real concerned because I've got the fondant patties and I've got the fondant brick that was supplied by Matt. I'm gonna leave it in the top. Since I blocked the hole they were climbing through to get to it, I'm gonna move it over to the side, let them climb through the other hole. To get to that. All right, so we do have a lot of bees in this box. I'm gonna cover him up. And we'll move on to the other one. Now this one I see no bees in the top. But see a bunch of them right here and you can't see that. All right, you can see on top of that white brick that they're going after that sugar. Actually, they eat quite a bit of it. But I'm gonna pop in here. Make them a little mad. Got a nice little cluster. They're not too many hive beetles this time of year. They're still there. Don't worry, they're still there. But they kind of hide in the warmth of the brood. All right, so let's get this fondant on there. And that's all you do. You don't have to do anything. They'll climb up through the bottom side and they'll eat that stuff up. I'm going to turn this around the other way so the bees that are on the top can climb through. And I'll leave this as a backup to that. Okay, so 2 hives, got lots of bees, lots of activity. So looks like right now we're in good shape on this side. And you can see the day damp smoker still going strong. And all I have in it is pine shavings. I do have some pellets to use at a later time, but not doing the pellets right now. All right, so let's move to the west side. I've got a hive over there that hasn't shown any activity. Haven't been inside it, but I'm going to be in there today. We'll see you there. All right, as you can see, the west side is booming because the sun's shining directly on the front of the hives. Hopefully you can see the bees are flying a lot. They really like that sunshine directly on the front of the hive. Tremendously more activity than on the east side, but you would expect that since the sun's shining directly on the front of the box. But I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to pop the covers and I'm going to put some fondant directly on the top of the frames. Yep, the box that I was afraid had no activity before, they're all over the place. And if you remember, this box was my most troublesome box. Let me move this around here. Just look at all them bees. And this is January. Anyway, good promise for next year. All right, so this first box was my trouble hive last year. I could not keep it going. It just refused. Well, I can look in the top here, and this box has got so many bees in there. It is packed. So I'm gonna throw a little smoke on them. Kind of makes me wonder if this was about a month later, I'd put another box on it. Oh, propolis in the winter. There we go. Look at the bees in there. I mean, this box is wall to wall. Go ahead and get that out of the way. My goodness. It's great to see. But then with this population, it kind of worries me. But see how heavy they are. Yeah, they're not extremely light, but they're light nonetheless. And that's what I was afraid of. But I've got a solution for that. This is a Burns feeder, and the gap on the bottom is 3/8, and it's not enough to get the food in there. Okay, I've got a top cover. Well, I'm going to try this. I may go ahead and make me I've got another frame started for another top feeder. That'll give me enough room right there. When they get started on that fondant, it'll compress down the rest of the way pretty quickly. See, that's the fun of beekeeping. You never know what little things that you're going to have to modify to make everything work the way you planned it. All right, last box. Is propolis closed? All right. All right. On this one, I've also put a piece of the brick, but there's almost no activity. As you can see, there's almost no bees. Now, this yellow stuff is a sugar brick that I tried to make last winter. It's still good and they still eat it, but it's real hard. So it's not really a good thing to feed the bees because they have to get moisture to soften it up enough to eat it, and which means that they're not going to mess with it unless they're starving. So we're going to give them some good Hive Alive Fondant. Boy, they have really propolized this box. Set that off. And we've got a pretty good population of bees in here. It's not bad at all. I'll move this over so we can catch some more beetles. Move it over here to this corner so the beetles can get caught up in it. Propolis. Okay. Hive Alive Fondant. Okay, a little square in the middle. And I'm going to hit them with a little smoke to get them out of my way. I've watched others that just slap it right down on the top of the bees. I don't like killing bees. Okay, Now they've got their booster shot. See, even mine doesn't, this one doesn't have a tall enough shim. All right, for now I'm gonna leave it on there. Really kind of get fewer shims. I just haven't done that yet. But I see if I'm gonna use this one, I have to. I'm not gonna have worms. And I don't leave that out because that will attract ants even more time. Okay. All right, I'm probably gonna go ahead and make some of the feeder shims, and I'll go ahead and show you that here in a minute. But for now, as warm as it is, they won't be happy for that gap, but I'll take care of it here shortly. All right. Bees are definitely happy to see the sunshine. Getting out doing some orientation flights. All right, I'll be back in a minute. All right, so all I've done here is I took my little feeder board that I made up and I put these 1/2-inch shims on here. Well, there's a 3/8 gap. Some people don't want any openings, but it don't hurt nothing. If the bees don't want it, they'll propolize it up. And leave the holes open, because that'll just allow bees to go up and get the sugar they got left over from last year. If they need it. And everybody's happy because bees got food. And I get them right off another one. It's all we work with. So you know now. And then I put string on it here so that they last more feeder jars. And everybody will be happy again. So by making little things like this, for one, you can save yourself a lot of money, especially if you've got the scrap wood. That you can cut up and do like this. So all I've got is the new nails and a little bit of time, and the rest of the materials were free. Left over from other projects or whatever. But this will give me enough room for the fondant packs. And everything will sit down nice and smooth. All right. All right, got that finished up. I got 3 shims ready to go, and then I'm going to modify one of the other ones. So here we go. These do. All right, real quickly, we're just going to slap these shims on. All right. This hive doesn't need one. This one definitely has to have one. Too much daylight. And what that would mean would be the rain that we're going to get tomorrow could wash in and kill the hive. Little simple trick. Transfer the little sugar brick. And the bees. Put the cover back on. Okay, what I've found so far is Apis tactical gloves. I love them. They fit better. They're really nice. I'm really happy that I bought these. Having some problems around the neck with the Guardian B suit. I'll try to work that out. Otherwise, I like the suit, but I'm having problems. It doesn't want to zip right, and that may go with age. That may work out good. I'm not going to bother you filming putting on the other two feeder shims. It's just lifting the cover, swap the shims out, everything's good to go. The smoker, that thing is huge, holds lots of fuel. So even without the pellets, I think it's good for my 4 hives, no problems at all, maybe even more. Loading it with pellets and pine shavings, that thing probably would go for lots of time, hours upon hours. So I kind of like it because it's got the finger shield. That's why I picked it out. And it's the real tall one. Holds lots of fuel. So I'm really going to like that. We'll see how the Hive Alive Fondant, nobody says it. They don't like it, except they'd like for it to be cheaper, but everything would be great if it was cheaper. But got the Hive Alive Fondant on them. We'll see in another month how they're doing. I'll probably check in them in about 2 weeks and see how they're eating it. Since all the boxes seem to be a little bit light, but it is the middle of January. Next month they'll start brooding up. If they haven't already, one of them I think might already be brooding up. The problem hive from last year right now has twice the bees that any of the other hives have. So that's good. Looks like we'll be getting off to a big start. I'll have to watch it next month. If we get enough warm temperatures, I'll have to watch it and make sure it doesn't swarm on me. That's what happens when they get too full too fast. I may drop out here and put a honey super on it and let them build comb. Hey, who says February is too early to build comb? But that's what I got. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe and like, and tell some of your friends that I'm here, and we'll get some more reviews on some of this new gear that I got in future videos. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.